Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi, and I'm sorry for a late or slight delay. As in, I know the internet's not back home can be challenging, so yet still they get some delay for three or three other guests them, but I know I'm keeping her waiting any longer. I decide say now we start and then we go from wherever we stop, then go meet with from there. And I welcome once again with putting her on a pause as usual, and I feel free for share the live for notify others, and then we go come right back, and I welcome once again.
Mina Thomos Pa Ali BABADIE, the Chairman Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy.
Mina Thomos Conteh, Executive Director of Citizens Advocacy Network, CAN, and spokesperson for Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy.
My name is Bangura, the Executive Director for Democracy Sierra Leone and the Secretary General for the Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy. Entity we comprise of independent civil society organizations. We get a mandate for intervene on areas we deal with democracy itself, good governance, human rights issues, socio-economic justice, among others. So on the 17th and 18th of July 2020, kuskas be happen na Makeni. The consortium go na Makeni for actually investigate the crisis we happen. On the 18th of July 2020, the Ministry of Energy send some people, mainly security personnel, for take a generator na Makeni for transfer na Lungi, where arrangements be on the force, but we not been done generator. So as a result of that, the people have become so suspicious that it been therefore lead to another thing. And on the 18th of July 2020, Makeni town become chaotic. Makeni na the district headquarter town of Bombali district and are one of the strategically located Tondem na the northern province as a whole. And besides, Makeni na the opposition stronghold. So where this still has to happen, we see say now we responsibility for go and forget facts. And this we call them the Makeni story.
The youth are fighting against the motion. Seriously, stoning. Whilst, as you can see, tear gas is everywhere.
Happen for go and we meet with stakeholders. Primarily we meet with them, Mayor Sunkai Kamara Chief. It tells we say indeed they will start a negotiation for the 1.65 megawatt generator for the transfer to Lungi, but it was inconclusive. There was supposed to be a written down document, will not come at all, and so then they create problem, and then go for the machine at night. We call this real suspicion. Now we go and see what happened at the hospital. She said until we say 5 people die. All of them naman them. 3 students and 2 people away the cell. We see 10 people away hospitalized. 2 of them na woman, sustained serious injury. Talk to the medical superintendent. We also tell we and give you a story about what happened on that day. we further know what happened to the SLP party office. We go, indeed, we see them pelt serious stones them inside the building. Glasses and damage, but they're not burn them at all. And the party office not far removed from the ETSA office, outside and will take the machine. And so we get for even stop by at the ETSA place and see outside the machine be there. Also further discuss with both the police and the military, the AIG and the brigadier. They all put up serious defense and that they can't take it. But they also discuss with residents of McKinney. We talk with the disciplinary committee of McKinney. They express dismay and serious dissatisfaction about how the police and administration and even the military will come inside later, we can make the thing become worsen. We talk to the comrade, we get them picking also, we then kill. A teacher did away in Mawada with them in picking the also already. That was really unfortunate.
We recommend strongly that government institutes an independent judge-led inquiry into what happened in Kenya so that the fact will come out. We also recommend that all the one they will kill, then the body them be provided to their families for give them befitting funerals, and let government take responsibility for the funeral cost. We also recommend that the families of the deceased persons be adequately compensated with a sum of not less than 150 million each. That all the military personnel will be found wanting of shooting or killing people or causing human rights abuses be suspended from the military and be made for face the full force of the law. We also recommend that the high police and military presence in Makeni, where they cause panic for the people and the communities, be relaxed and let allow the people to go about with the normal businesses. Also recommend that His Excellency the President Bio, when the Commander-in-Chief and Fountain of Honor and Peace, imbibe the culture of showing compassion and empathy for in citizens in situations like this, as we don't see glaring display of insensitivity from the President in situations like this, where they kill citizens and when they see they show empathy or compassion. Also recommend that the international community engage President Bio and the government on the rising spate of extrajudicial killings only take place unlawfully by security personnel who are supposed to provide safety for the people of this country. We recommend strongly that the military and the police be engaged in periodic trainings in order for upgrade their professional standards. We also recommend that these people of Makeni remain calm and maintain the peace. Let them restrict themselves within the confines of the laws governing the land, because this is a democratic state and that the law reigns supreme. We recommend staying where they under critical conditions currently be provided with adequate medical attention so that we will not continue for loss more citizens. And we continue for advocate and recommend that the Ministry of Energy put in place measures for relocation of machines from one locality to the other. We also recommend that civil society and the media work concertedly for educate, inform, and conscientize the people of this country on the things the way they really happen and for provide civic education. We want for also send with heartfelt condolences to all the bereaved families of the people the way they don't lost their lives. And we want for say many souls rest in perfect peace. Long live democracy, human rights, and good governance. God bless Sierra Leone. God bless us all.
Greetings, fellow Sierra Leoneans. Again, welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tsijan Nabi. We just watched a very nice piece where them puts together the civil society activists, Mr. Thomos Conteh, Mr. Marcus Bangura, and Mr. Thomos Ali, where they're all supposed for join away as well. And still the struggle for login. As in I know sometimes some parts of Sierra Leone can be difficult in terms of coverage. But without further ado, I get with we another strong activist way in safe they in the same line with the rest of the other three fellow will not join with it. Now he come in and introduce himself. Now we forge ahead with today's interview. Welcome, sir. Kindly introduce yourself to the world.
Good evening and good day to all Sierra and viewers of this noble television, online television. Me, Alan S. Tuboku METZGER, the chairman for the Civil Rights Defenders. And we're there today for discuss issues we get to do with Salon, we're now the only country where we get, and we push go forward Salon business, and that good governance, human rights issues, and all waiting we require from Salongo before. That is the reason why we are here today. And I hope say when we're out yonder, when we're in the diaspora and Salon, all together we could join hands together and take Mama Salongo before. Because if we not talk, we big one and not go know what's wrong with we, and they not go understand and feel the pain where we feel. So actually, we job one of part of we job we do so now to make sure so we do advocacy and talk to we people them, we authorities to make a real voice and tell them say this fine, this not fine. I think say that is democracy, and I sure say we big one and we ready for listen to we and actually try to implement within which we will suggest to them and put across to them. Regard Mama Salon. Thank you very much.
Mr. Allen, thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of all peace-loving Sierra Leoneans around the world, we mean well for our country, where they share the same ideology like you and I, for say plenty thank you to you and the countless active civil society activists where they putting herself on the line each day for see that Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans meet their basic fundamental rights and basic necessity through in our own voice. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you always for honoring the invitation, if even it means at the very last minute. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I don't know if you've been getting the opportunity for watch the brilliant, wonderful piece where the other three fellows then puts together regarding the McKinney incident. I don't know if you've been get chance for watch that piece there.
Just come at the tail end of the blood and peace.
At the end of it. Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I go like for repeat
time.
time.
I shall say then take, and we take, human rights people and the most of the human rights issue people around the world and speak with one voice. And I am pretty sure based on the last tail end of the audio, I can listen to the video. Almost it's just the same message we're trying to put across. So
absolutely,
I'm sure we are on the same page.
I agree, strongly agree. So
because if you take a look at we on position paper, then I can listen to the last tail end of them, the video what they do, it's almost like the same. So it
Identical.
means whatever they do is a fight that we need to keep on doing.
Absolutely. So at the same time, for all fairness, I go want you listen to her one more time, and then I will come in for now. We start the interview. Is that okay with
Okay.
you? All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Now repeat time for in our just they come in. I want selling a plenty thanking, and also acknowledge some of the folks that we come in. Madam Zainab Sharif Bangura from United Kingdom, welcome. Madam Aisha Kano, welcome. Miss Tene Gooden, welcome. Mr. Muhammad Lamin Kamara, welcome. Mr. Junior Toure, welcome. Mr. Shine, welcome. For the few that were able to identify, if I'm not calling a name, do you forgive me? Will they come right back and I take time for listen to this, and then will they come right back in? I thank you.
Mina Thomos Pa Ali Babadi, the Chairman Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy.
Mina Thomos Conteh, Executive Director of Citizens Advocacy Network, CAN, and spokesperson for Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy.
My name is Marcos Bangura, the Executive Director for Democracy Sierra Leone and the Secretary General for the Consortium for Good Governance, Human Rights and Democracy. Entity we comprise of independent civil society organizations. We get a mandate for intervene on areas where they deal with democracy itself, good governance, human rights issues, socio-economic justice, among others. So on the 17th and 18th of July 2020, kuskas be happen na Makeni. The consortium go na Makeni for actually investigate the crisis we happen. On the 18th of July 2020, the Ministry of Energy sent some people, mainly security personnel, for take a generator na Makeni for transfer na Lungi, where arrangements been on the force, but we not been done generator. So as a result of that, the people have become so suspicious that it been therefore lead to another thing. And on the 18th of July 2020, Makeni town become chaotic. Makeni na the district headquarter town of Bombali district, and are one of the strategically located Thomos na the northern province as a whole. And besides Makeni na the opposition stronghold. So where this tears so happen, we see say now we responsibility for go and forget facts. And this we call them the Makeni story.
Almost there. The youth are fighting against the motion. Seriously, stoning. Wise, as you can see, the chair gas is everywhere.
Happen for go and we meet with stakeholders. Primarily we meet with the Mayor Sumkan Kamara, Chief. It tells you say indeed they'll be starting negotiation for the 1.65 megawatt generator for the transfer to Lungi, but it was inconclusive. There was supposed to be a written down document, will not come at all, and so then they create problem, and then go for the machine at night because it's real suspicion. Now we go and see what happened at the hospital. She said, until we say 5 people die, all of them naman them. 3 students and 2 people away the cell. We see 10 people away hospitalized. 2 of them na woman, sustained serious injury. Talk to the medical superintendent. We also tell we and give you a story about what happened on that day. We further know what happened to the SLP party office. We go, indeed, we see them pelt serious stones them inside the building. Glasses and damage, but they're not burn them at all. And the party office not far removed from the ETSA office, outside and will take the machine. And so we get for even stop by at the ETSA place and see outside the machine be there. Also further discuss with both the police and the military, the AIG and the brigadier. They all put up serious defense and that they can't take us. But we also discuss with residents of McKinney. We talk with the disciplinary committee of McKinney. They express dismay and serious dissatisfaction about how the police and administration and even the military will come inside later. We can make the thing become worsen. We talk to the comrade. We get them picking also. We then kill. A teacher did away in Mawada with them in picking the also already. That was really unfortunate.
We recommend strongly that government institutes an independent judge-led inquiry into what happened in our game so that the fact will come out. We also recommend that all the one that we then kill, then the body then be provided to their families for give them befitting funerals and let government take responsibility for the funeral cost. We all recommend that the families of the deceased persons be adequately compensated with the sum of not less than 150 million each. That all the military personnel will be found wanting of shooting or killing people or causing human rights abuses be suspended from the military and be made for face the full force of the law. We also recommend that the high police and military presence in McKinney, where they cause panic for the people and the communities, be relaxed and let allow the people to go about with the normal businesses. Also recommend that His Excellency the President Bio, when the Commander-in-Chief and Fountain of Honor and Peace, imbibe the culture of showing compassion and empathy for in citizens in situations like this, as we don't see glaring display of insensitivity from the president in situations like this, where they kill citizens and when they see they show empathy or compassion. Also recommend that the international community engage President Bio and the government on the rising spate of extrajudicial killings that only take place unlawfully by security personnel who are supposed to provide safety for the people of this country. We recommend strongly that the military and the police be engaged in periodic trainings in order for upgrade their professional standards. We also recommend that these people of McKinney remain calm and maintain the peace. Let them restrict themselves within the confines of the laws governing the land, because this is a democratic state and that the law reigns supreme. We recommend staying where they under critical conditions currently be provided with adequate medical attention so that we will not continue for loss more citizens. And we continue for advocate and recommend that the Ministry of Energy put in place measures for relocation of machines from one locality to the other. We also recommend that civil society and the media work concertedly for educate, inform, and conscientize the people of this country on the things the way they really happen and for provide civic education. We want for also send with heartfelt condolences to all the bereaved families of the people that we don't lost their lives. And we want for say many souls rest in perfect peace. Long live democracy human rights and good governance. God bless Sierra Leone. God bless us all.
And I all welcome back. Make I acknowledge few other people that will join we. Mr. Owan Kasu from United Kingdom, Madam Imams, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And I all thank you. And Madam Kanku Mansari, welcome. Madam Matha, welcome. Mr. Joseph, welcome. I've been just one repeat down there for now. You go able for C. It seems like you're upside down, so I don't know if you want to turn your device the other way around so then we'll see you better. Mr. METZGER, turn your device the other way. It seems like you're upside down. Can you hear me? Mr. METZGER. Mr. Allen, can you hear me? Okay. And I'll be with you in a no salon issue now. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and just put we back again on a break and we will come right back. And I'm sorry about that.
On the 18th and 19th July 2020, on a curfew night after midnight, when McKinney was dead quiet in obedience to coronavirus laws, some guys waltzed into the city in military and OSD uniforms, well armed, as if at war, to rob a thermal generator owned by the people of McKinney. These forces with ulterior motives, however, met a resistance from unarmed McKinney youths, whom they executed in cold blood and in impunity for an old generator. Those arrested are taken to Freetown of Sierra Leone.
The defenders of human rights are our teachers. The protectors of our constitutional rights are our elders. You are our brothers. You are our heroes. We won't give in to traitors and killers, even if they imprison us.
Roland sings.
Oh Lord, God of vengeance, God of vengeance, oh God of vengeance, oh God of vengeance, shine forth, vengeance is yours, vengeance is yours, oh Lord, God of vengeance, all lives matters, they say. McKinney, lives matters too. We won't bow down to tyranny and tribalism rule, even if they all eliminate our tribes. We won't fear, even if they threaten us with more iron soldiers and weapons. Oh Lord, God of vengeance, God of vengeance, oh God of vengeance, oh God of vengeance, shine forth, vengeance is yours, vengeance is yours, oh Lord, God Long live our mother and injured comrades. McKinney remembers you. Long live honest by Koroma. Sierra Leone honors you. Long live our righteous leaders. Sierra Leone celebrates you. Long live our constitutional defenders. The world loves you. Oh Lord, God of vengeance, God of vengeance, oh God of vengeance, oh God of vengeance, shine forth, vengeance is yours, vengeance is yours, oh Lord, God of vengeance, vengeance.
Roland sings.
All the long-standing problems still entrenched in our society, we have added another problem, which is making things even worse, which is taking us backwards and not forward. And what is that? It is the seeming policy of division and exclusion, marginalization of a certain group. That is not good for business. The political instability and tension is not encouraging investment. Division on tribal lines does not consolidate peace. It perpetuates resentment. Now, yesterday, in the opening statement of our leaders, we were inspired in so many ways that we saw that our leaders, for the first time, admitting to faults and willing to take responsibility. But we also see that there is a big gap between rhetoric and reality. We are preaching peace, yet we are undermining those institutions that foster peace. We can give countless examples, but I don't want to bore you right now with examples. Let me just mention a few. You cannot preach peace and you're sacking people who are guaranteed with security of tenure under the Constitution and the statute. You cannot preach peace and you impose a speaker on parliament against the majority party in parliament. We cannot preach peace when it seems like appointments are being done on tribal lines. We cannot preach peace when we are depriving access to justice of the hearing of political cases by opposition or otherwise, and even by the Sierra Leone Bar Association. All the long-standing problems still entrenched in our society, we have added another problem, which is making things even worse, which is taking us.
Good morning, compatriots. My name is Francis Ben Kaifala and I am Renaissance. The Sierra Leone Renaissance movement has called on fellow Sierra Leoneans to wear black on Monday. We call it Black Monday. It's a Monday where we are supposed to show our dissatisfaction at the way the country has been run. Since independence to date, the Sierra Leonean has had a life that is less than what we would desire. We wake up in the morning worrying about the basic things that the rest of the world has forgotten. We worry about electricity, we worry about water supply, we worry about food, we even worry about security. Successive governments have failed us. This is the time for the Sierra Leonean to refuse to accept less and request more. We have to show our leaders that poverty is not a way of life. It is something which is man-made, and men all over the world have fought to change it. In Sierra Leone, it seems things cannot get better. Why? Why do people vote governments? Governments are voted to make the lives of their people better. If they cannot make their lives better, then that is a failure of social contract. And when there is a failure of social contract, the counterparties, in this case, who are the people, need to demand from their governments that what is done is not what was agreed. We have to stand up for what we believe in. We cannot reject, we cannot accept this way of life. We have to reject it. In recent times, the economy has been destroyed. Inflation is galloping.
And I will welcome back, and I thank you for the patience. As I telling her earlier, and I know the network back home, so they go back and forth with but we get Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, I be one replay down there for now. Now you go basically not miss any of the details them. I want to say kudos to all the three civil society activists them where put that brilliant piece together. Then bring about a lot of great or significant recommendation where I want to talk about. First and foremost, I want you come in and you give your own take on the entirety of that video, and then from there it go followed by some questions. So welcome back, Mr. Allen.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Khadija. My name is Mr. METZGER, as have been announced earlier of this program. I am the chairman for the Civil Rights Defenders. And as we all know, the name of the organization actually they tell the general public exactly what the organization they are about. We therefore seek the interest of every Sierra Leonean. We know which color you belong to or who side you be, but we mandate now for actually protect the interest of every Sierra Leonean. The human rights issues where they come up day to day in a salon. It not only means politicians, they abuse the right of Sierra Leoneans. Every Sierra Leonean they abuse the right of in counterparts or encompass Sierra Leonean. So it's not just politicians. Many people then get this very straight. Human rights abuse can be done by every Sierra Leonean, even the one that they do child trafficking, human trafficking, even the one that they fraud people. They all intimidating abuses. So when we talk about human rights abuse, it's not just for politics. It's not just fighting with politicians or authorities then where they're on the ground. But the human rights fight is against anybody where they abuse the right of encompass Sierra Leone. Now, based on the video we just don't watch, based on we colleagues them, yes, we colleagues them do a very good piece, and sure, as we all know, we all belong to the same goal. We all actually try to achieve the same goal, try to protect every living being. It can be a Sierra Leone. We can get all the nationals in a salon. Their right must be protected by human rights organizations like we do. So not necessarily it's in a Sierra Leone, the normal way they protect their right. The reason why they take into consideration because when you look at the majority of people, the inhabitants in this country in Sierra Leone. So it can be say other national can be in a salon. Somebody else is abusing rights, and it is our responsibility. It is our hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, sir. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
It is a responsibility for actually protect the right of them Sierra Leoneans and of them nationals and they. So now, with what happened at McKinney, we don't talk on this talk on several medias or several other programs. Then we don't talk on them. If you put box today and say all the one that they support the motion of what happened at McKinney, And all the one they were then they against what happened to McKinney. Now the one they were then they against what happened to McKinney, definitely not going to win. You know, and if you go through the social media now, you will see there are several debates and deliberations where they go on the social media regarding the McKinney issue. And you will see some people then they they support the issue, say yes, yes, a good boy, it is legal for kill people, it is legal, yes, you see all them kind statements and they, you know, these are all diabolic statements they were not they expect from Sierra Leoneans, you know, because Sierra Leone is a very small country, 7.5 million. We are all related in one way or the other, irrespective of the tribe. So for me, I can only take and say Sierra Leoneans, we are all related. We are all related. There is no way anybody can even convince me with that. So if Sierra Leoneans say a bloody for waiting happen McKinney, then that person they need some mental treatment in order to fight. Because as they say a lot of debates and deliberation they go on the social media. I see people and they actually support say yes, a good man and go kill them. Yes, yes, something like that. But in actual fact, waiting happen to McKinney, based on what I don't listen to and waiting I will take as human rights people. So we will pick up from a very different angle because human rights all over the world, it must be respected by everybody because we are signatory to the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. So if we now signatory to the United Nations, then all of a sudden we do something contrary to the treaties, the way we don't sign the international treaties, then it's a cause for concern. Now, I got a problem with the security personnel. Very strong problem, very, very strong problem. But that one we will sort out down one day. Because if you take a look at the security personnel, then they are all peacekeepers. Both the military and the police, they are all being identified as peacekeepers all over the world. Then recognize Sierra Leoneans, Sierra Leonean police, Sierra Leonean military as peacekeepers. We don't represent Salone or other countries, they are peacekeepers. So for now, the question where I ask, and in the next protest and campaign where I get for actually lead, I get for do with peacekeepers, they are Salone. Who are the peacekeepers representing Sierra Leone and most of them countries and abroad? Whether they are the soldier man they can go, whether they are the policeman they can go. Are they strange police or are they strange military people? Because if the police and the military or the soldier are not going to get back to me with a very good report of their investigation of what happened to McKinney, some of we will lead a protest or a campaign or a petition to the international community that we soldiers and police must not be sent out as peacekeepers. Because it's very clear. If they turn around and armless people and they shoot them with live weapons, then I wonder if they send them other countries, they're waiting and go do this. They will kill people in the national day. Because if you don't know how to actually quell protesters, if you don't know how to bring down people the way they make flabber, if you say the only solution are just for shoot and kill, then who are you? Then who are you to go represent out there? Then you call yourself a peacekeeper? Then no, that's that. I mean, I'm not able to comprehend the situation because when you say you're not a peacekeeper, you have to use the last option. We get mediation, we get arbitration, we get several strategies that for use for quell down protesters. People that were then angry, people that were then vexed, people that were then not glad. There are several ways we able to engage them. And Khadija, one of the things back where actually I'm not able to comprehend is whereas somebody will tell me saying that the Minister of Energy now give green lights for go kill people there. The question again where I go on for ask. I think even this, my colleagues they make mention of that inside them videos. The Minister of Energy not a soldier man. The Minister of Energy not a policeman. How the Minister of Energy they go give command for go kill or for go do something. Now that matter the debate on the social media. I say well, I stand to be corrected, but now that make we ask for an investigation. We requested His Excellency the President in with position paper that we need to get an independent investigators a commission for the setup for make we know exactly what happened at McKinney because I not go only and solely trust the police then on that investigation. I not go trust the military wholly and solely for do that investigation. We gonna need an independent investigation. Probably, if possible, we need even international participation into that investigation. Then we know exactly who that then responsible for what happened at McKinney. Yeah, because at the ending of the day, if police then come up with a report or an investigation, somebody go get come and say, who police the police? That should be the question. Who police the police? So they will just cover up themselves. That will be the thought of other people. If the soldier man go do an investigation, go come find copy soldier man. So now that make we in with position paper we requested for His Excellency and the government of the day for set up an independent investigation for make them really get to know who is behind or who are responsible for what happen now. McKinney, just like what my colleagues then give some recommendations, some powerful recommendations. Them, yes, fantastic. We agree with them. Some of their recommendations and they are in place, And some of the policemen and soldier man, they were them all responsible, not only for sack them or remove them. I think they for go jail. Yes, I think they for face court martial, like even the military people. They for go jail, not only for sack them, but for sack them and also for imprison them. Make them go pay the penalty, so at least where's the next man see something like that, will just take gun and shoot, They say kill dog before dog, may dog must die day, We see what's happen now America with the fellow where they kill, they put the guy in jail. Yes, you see the policeman then dismiss him from the job and jail him. So in actual fact, what did they happen as salon? I think so we for begin to set an example. Well, you go see few folks them out there where people say these are propagandas. Where they listen to me now, then go to talk them young. No president, you don't listen to them, not listen to them. And these are the same guys who are destroying the administration of President Bio. I have to be very clear with this. Those guys who are supporting what happened in McKinney, these are the sycophants who are around His Excellency the President. And we are ready to name and shame some of them. And President Bio, this now administration, we got to make this point very clear. This now administration, tomorrow, now then go for rates. Say President Bio, you be, A, B, C, D. You got 80%, you got 50%, you get 60%, you get 10%. It's based on what you're doing now. If you actually listen to the one when a holy guns them, sycophants them, with the advices for go and cause damage, I'm afraid at the end of the day, you will get yourself blamed as a president because this is your administration. Nobody we vote for. We voted for President Bio. That's it. Bottom line. No more, no less. So if you President Bio, you listen to them when they mislead you, give you different advices for do waiting, actually it will bring down your downfall on human rights issues. Believe me, it not will go down well in record. Austerity is there. Yes, you can do your 5 year, your 10 year, your 50 year, your 100 years, fantastic and fine. But when you go sit down tomorrow at your retirement table, austerity they begin it on you because you not actually go by the oath where you take and you listen to people that will misdirect you. So we call to President Biona for set up an independent body to actually do massive investigation of what happened to McKinney and come up with a credible independent report. Then
wonderful.
We will listen to yes, fantastic. Yeah. This is fine. But honestly, with what happened to McKinney, with all waiting wait to the these are just propagandas and the social media, all the other things. And if you listen to the civil society report and all that thing, and you go see the points are very clear.
Yes,
we all speak to the same voice.
Absolutely. And some of those, yes,
we
wonderful.
The act from the beginning.
Yeah, some of those.
And at the end of the day, we see that even the parliamentarians themselves go to parliament. Then say we punch them heavily on the social media.
Yeah, before we get there, sir.
We were not impressed.
1 second, sir. Yeah, before we get there, I want kind of point out some of the recommendation given to the general public or the administration by you comping civil activists them when Mr. Thomos Conteh, and I wonder we go through them categorically, yeah. One of which you self similarly, like how you say yourself your organization recommend independent inquiry or investigation equally as that of themselves your organization. They also recommend that the body of them people they are so be given back to the family for then they go beg them people them the way how they choose for bury them. They also recommend compensation from the state. As you know, maybe outside of the Republic or outside of Africa, if not them country they are so the states go give X amount of funding where it go be say you're not ever able for pay the family back, but at least it go help them somehow for say okay they don't kill them family. So that recommendation they say 150 million each for each family for compensate them. Then it also recommend that military personnel, these are things where we don't say at these platforms several times, wherein then it's obvious that they need more training because when you know better, you do better. So obviously if then still they do good by the citizen if the constitution say they are supposed to be the guarantor or that they for save lives and property, then when they see that, when they see the opposites, then it become concerning or alarming. That's another thing where they recommend. And they also recommend, say, adequate medical attention be given or provide to the one them the innocent bystander. We also recommend that the Ministry of Energy for puts proper mechanism in place when it comes to relocating anything, as in the example of them trying to locate the generator from McKinney to the capital city, wherein they go do them so that way at least history like this will not repeat itself. So now I want to know we kind of like address some of them things there. So in terms of the body, there will also get some issue having to do with them body there, so they may hold them, and I think so they hold them still, with the exception of 2 where they may release so far. As a civil society activist, when many Sierra Leoneans go be curious as to, obviously, they doing their own very best. So that's a question I would not even ask on behalf of the masses, because it's obvious. So waiting the government not telling her now, or the administration not telling her, for in regards to the remaining body then we left, where the family then still they wait for them put the family members them to rest. Waiting I don't get for understand so far in that area, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for them pointers and the way you read up. If I start from the bottom to top, we got the body then. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right. Well, me I still say I'm not able to comprehend. And that make you see, I will be one person. I think I have always been doing that. President Bio, the people that are damage in administration, they don't their foot. May they not divert in attention at all to opposition. Okay? The people that they damage this administration, then they want President Bio in foot. And he has to look at that very critically. Because I'm not able to imagine people that they don't go shoot and kill them at McKinney, to date, their bodies are not being released. Who must have advised His Excellency the President not to release them body then? Who must have advised him? The reason we make ask this question, who must have advised him? Because President Bio is surrounded by several advisors. So if President Bio take the decision, may we know. Because to date, we not get any clue about the reason why there is a stop for release them body them day. We know in Sierra Leone, culturally, every set tribe get their own way where people say then they conduct them burial. You never know some of the people that were even dying in society, people then. So then get their own way where people say then they bury them kind of people then they. So still the people then they request for the body of the dead one then. Again, we said they asked the question, why the delay of releasing those cups? Me, I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to comprehend. I'm not able to understand why there is still a stock for release them body then day. Somebody they tell me on social media say where they go for do post-mortem. I say post-mortem for God's sake, for what? You know see a bullet kill them. Then they go to post-mortem for proof say I can imagine. For go do post-mortem for no waiting killer, or you don't know waiting kill a person. So we still continue to ask Khadija the reason why there is a stop, or the reason why the bodies are being released by installment, two or 1, 2. Why is that kind of situation? That I'm not able to understand. Because if you tell me, probably people that have been dying at Pademba Road, they are prisoners. Maybe states can always be responsible for the burial of the one that were dying at Pademba Road. All right? That's not even too clear. Except somebody where people are not able to recognize them, or most times, like you say, criminals are always being buried, taken care of by the president or by the state. You know. But the one that were dying at McKinney, are they criminals?
Not at all.
From the prison?
Many go agree that
They want them protesters then, where the police then kill them recklessly or the soldier then kill them recklessly. So that we cannot identify whether a police or soldier then kill them people in a McKinney. You know the reason why to make us say not clear? We are still yet to get clarification from the two sets of security people, the police and the military. Now that make they continue for ask a question, say we need a report. Now we get to understand, say the mayor and few other people in Amakeni, they've been called for questioning. Yes, fantastic and fine. They can call them for questioning. But wherever you say Parliament don't summon the police and the military,
great one.
Great one. I have not heard that before.
Yes, that was my next question. So basically, up to now, and I not get the answers them yet to in they look for in regards to the police them.
The delay of the burial, the delay of giving the body back to the family member.
Okay.
That no question. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
And that's not too clear. Now, if we go to the Ministry of Energy, the recommendation where they give to the Ministry of Energy was also very clear that in the near future, they need to put modalities in place. And now there must even be a policy transfer of equipment from one location to the other and all anything, and make them very clear. But the way it was done, it was actually done haphazardly. It was done it was done like, I mean, there was nothing like an understanding, I think in that kind of situation will not be once. We'll see the tension where happened at Kono. I don't know the reason what make we know they learn from past experiences. We also know say McKinney is a stronghold of the opposition. In a situation like that, then we don't use all options. Believe me, the other thing in Khadija where they surprised me, if we chief minister, they refer to we chief minister, Professor Francis. If he actually been what insult as a chief minister, when they call a professor in peace and conflict, I repeat myself, I always have problem with Professor Francis. You know the reason why? I didn't talk this talk publicly. I always get problem with Professor Francis. Professor Francis, now if we don't make President Bio succeed to date as we speak, if we don't make President Bio not they face all them kind of problems the way they face. Because he's for now the best Sierra Leonean when it comes to peace and security, peace and development. That man don't teach peace, conflict, and resolution at Bradford University for over 20 years. He is now a professor. And he is a member of this government. President Bio, from the inception of the government, he appointed him as waiting chief minister, meaning he actually supervised and give oversight to all the ministries. So even waiting the Minister of Energy do so, he is aware of it. There is no way you tell me say he is not aware because he is the chief minister. And what was his advice to the Minister of Energy? Where they do this? As a peace somebody. I remember that one organization where they in London where they call to make peace prevail on earth. They say when you like peace somebody, if you use the last option, even if you get for use your last kobo for establish that peace, they for do one. So my question now is, President and Chief Minister, what's not being advised to the Minister of Energy, where then go take this machine at McKinney, where they already know say there is a tension. We don't follow social media, the tension was there, all them kind of situations and there. What was the advice of the Chief Minister? Who is our peace and conflict guru, Nasalon? Tendency they say tomorrow UNP appointed to be a peace envoy. But it's based on what he achieved Nasalon. And that will make we as Sierra Leoneans, we speak on him behalf, so say yes, he is qualified. But insofar as we speak now, Chief Minister not go qualify for any UN job when it comes to peace. At the UN.
Thank you, sir. I want to also ask you on behalf of Sierra Leoneans there or the masses, where for now we get clarity in regards to allocation. When it comes to the machine, then many go say, okay, now government property. But when it comes to like specific, like say from one district to another or one chiefdom to another, do they have specific funding where they will say, okay, this is not for McKinney and it should be used for McKinney. This is not for the Bombali district, the Kenema district, the Freetown Council, and the list goes on. Do they have?
I think you the answer at the same time you ask the question.
No, I want to get clarity. I want to get clarity. I'm not sure.
When you look at the procurement side of it, all in districts, and they were all attributed. Then distribute machines to the all. Okay?
Yes, sir.
It's like you did within an office setting. I mean, then can